For those wondering what game I've been playing since I stopped playing crap bops, this right here is it, Gran Turismo 5. And although this game has some issues, you just can't beat the actual racing and driving in this game, man. It is so fucking addicting. This was my first race with this motherfucker right here, the Bugatti Veyron, and the game is so fucking stupid, man, that it allows me to enter the car into a French hatchback race. So I'm facing a whole bunch of cars that have no chance of winning this game. You know what? I don't give a fuck how overpowered I am, because all I care about is easy money and easy wins. Now, I didn't add anything to the car, so this is the base stock model, and I had no idea how it would handle. So Visual Face right there in the chat box tells me that this car sucks, and I'm finding out for the first time as I can't turn this fucking thing, man. This fat bitch cannot fucking turn, and now I'm on a very technically challenging course, man. These city street courses have some of the tightest turns in the damn game, and the Veyron handles turns about as well as a drug addict handles money. And you can see right here, I spin around this corner right here. Look at this shit, man. Now I'm bouncing off the walls. I did a complete 360. I'm back on course, but come on, man. This fucking thing cannot turn for shit. This entire race, I'm gonna be driving like a drunk bastard, man. I have a car that doesn't turn. I suck at driving games, so it's only gonna add to the comedy of this fucking race, man. And before people start commenting on the noob shit that I have, yes, I have the noob lines on the floor to guide me through this fucking course, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna get this boat through this motherfucker without it. And yes, I'm driving automatic, and usually I do that when I first unlock a car just to see how the shit will handle. Normally I'd say I drive, you know, manual versus auto 50-50. And it all depends on how familiar I am with the car and how familiar I am with the course. So since this is my first run through with this motherfucker, I'm driving a noob style. You know what? I don't give a shit. You see right here, man, I can barely get around this. Look at this shit, man. This fucking boat can barely get around this shit. Now I'm bouncing off the walls like a motherfucker. So since I also posted up some Need for Speed footage, some of you may be wondering which is the better game, which is the better purchase. And I'm going to say it all depends on your preference. But you can't go wrong with either game, no matter which one you purchase, if you purchase one or the other. The main difference is how close to realism the games are when it comes to driving. Need for Speed is a straight arcade racer. There's no realism in that game at all. Cars do not handle realistically, and on top of that, they have a whole bunch of other shit that just makes this game a straight arcade racer. But you know what? That's what makes that game fun. It knows it's an arcade racer, it does that shit well, so if you're looking for just casual driving fun, look at this, second fucking time I can't get around this turn. If you're looking for just casual fun, that's the perfect game to play. Gran Turismo 5 is about 95% realistic, and I say 95% because you're gonna see some shit on the final lap that shows that this game has some arcade moments like a motherfucker. Now, it also takes a lot of patience as a driver. It takes a whole lot more patience overall to play through the campaign, but you know what? You're gonna be rewarded. Look at this shit, man. I'm just bouncing off the walls and shit. So if you want to take your time to enjoy this game, you will definitely enjoy Gran Turismo. Don't get me wrong, there are some issues with this game. I don't have time to get into all that because I only have like 3 minutes left on this motherfucker, but it's a solid game for those people interested in playing a good driving game and interested in making this purchase. Now, getting back into this game, you guys have been able to see, I can't drive this fucking car. It's damn near impossible to drive. I didn't put anything on it, so I have the basic stock tires, which slip and slide like a motherfucker. Haven't done anything to the engine, transmission, suspension, nothing. I basically just won this fucking car. Look at this shit, man. Look at me. Now I'm trying to fucking handbrake around corners and shit. I just won this car, and I was trying to figure out where I could enter into a race. I found this fucking race. It said French cars. I'm like, fuck it. It's French. I don't give a shit. I'll just enter and see what I can do. This fucking car, man. It is so overpowered against these cars, but you know what? I need it, because look at how bad I drive with this motherfucker. Now, one of the things that I love about Gran Turismo, and you hear it in the background, is you can add your own music. I have probably like 100 songs or so on my PlayStation 3, and for whatever the fuck reason, it always chooses my salsa songs. Now, I don't mind at all, man. I love my salsa music. I don't know if y'all like it, and you know what? I don't care. I know Hatred will complain about that shit, but you know what? When he puts up some racing footage, he can put his El Nino, El Screamo, whatever fuck music he wants to play. I'm sure he'll complain about that comment, but whatever. But I love having my music on this game, and granted, you're gonna hear some salsa, and for like the last maybe like 30 seconds of the round, you're gonna hear a little bit of hip-hop. But you know what? That's another thing you can add to this game. Look at this shit, man. I'm still driving like a drunk motherfucker. Now, remember when I said there's some arcade moments in this shit? You're about to see one right here. I got tired of braking, so I just said, fuck it, look at that shit, man. 360 off of 2 walls. Who the fuck can pull off that some shit like that, man? How the fuck does some shit like that happen? You gonna tell me this shit is realistic? Hell fucking no. If you were to pull that shit driving into a wall 200 miles an hour, what do you think happens to that fucking car? That shit'll turn into scrap metal, man. There's no fucking way that shit would survive that shit. So, I'm tired of this fucking race, man. I can't brake around these turns. You look at this shit. I'm trying to brake, I'm trying to turn. All I'm doing is playing fucking bumper cars with the walls. I'm like, fuck it. why am I gonna brake? Let me just get to places quicker. So I do it again, and blah, look at that shit, man. Backside 360, man. Snowboarders can't even do that shit, man. That shit was a perfect fucking turn right there, man. They should have that as a fucking license challenge. Fuck that, man. So now that the race is almost over, you guys are gonna get to hear a little bit of my hip-hop song. There's a little bit of Ja Rule from like a song 12 years ago and shit. I'm gonna continue to post my Gran Turismo videos, but I'm gonna make sure that I post entertaining shit. I'm not just gonna post me racing a Mini Cooper around a fucking track for like 30 minutes. I'm gonna make sure you find things that are funny, entertaining, and worthwhile so that you're not watching a whole bunch of bullshit. Anyways, if you're liking my video, do the usual shit. Rate, comment, subscribe. Next video that I post up is actually gonna be the race following this that had just as much amount of bullshit as this race. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.